Thanks to the support as a channel member, Alan Todd. Well, this is a big one, boys and girls. The triple header that sort of decides everything. Champions League quarter-final against Bayern Munich. Potential Premier League decider against Manchester United. We could really use 3 wins here today. Hello and welcome to part 8 of my FM23 beta save with Chelsea. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have both legs of our Champions League quarter-final against Bayern Munich, plus the top of the table clash against Manchester United in the Premier League. We're going to get straight on with it. We don't have time to mess around. As you can see, 7 points clear at the top of the Premier League over Manchester United, but we do have a game in hand. A win in that game pretty much secures us the title. But first, we have to head to Munich and make sure we don't get humiliated by Bayern in the first leg, our away leg. So we are switching back to our 4-3-3, our slightly more defensive version of the tactic. Try and get some defensive stability. Try and avoid that annoying message that comes up and says, there's too much of a gap between your midfield and your defence. Well, that gap is now called Jorginho. It should not be there today. We've got Mendy in goal, a back four of Chilwell, Chalobah, Fofana and James. Jorginho as the gap. Kante and Kovacic in midfield. Remember, Kovacic played really well in that role earlier on in the season, so fingers crossed he can pick up where he left off there. Mount on the left, Sterling on the right, and Havertz up front. The basic thing, the main thing that this switch to this system does is takes Pulisic out the side and replaces him with Kovacic. So it is a more defensive system, even though we're still heading in on a positive mentality. I'm no coward. I'm not dropping below a positive mentality for anybody. But Champions League quarter-final, Bayern Munich are going to be troublesome. That's a strong team, isn't it? Look at that back four. Look at that attack. Well, it'll be fine. We should be able to break them down. We remember, goal for the first leg here, just survive. We'll worry about winning in the second leg. But for now, we just don't want to concede a whole load of goals and get embarrassed by the best team in Germany. After all, currently, we're the best team in England, and everyone knows the English league better than the German league. Hi, Germany, how you doing? Tell me why I'm wrong in the comment section. I love the engagement. Mount plays it across to Havertz, and now all the way back to Jorginho. See, that gap has been filled. Fantastic management there. Raheem Sterling has got in behind here, cuts the ball back to Kante. It's the underside of the crossbar. That was millimetres away from putting us 1-0 up. I'd like some goal line technology there, please, because that looked like it thundered back down off the underside of the bar, and I think we can all agree it probably crossed the line, but we've been robbed there. But an excellent start for us. Sterling getting the better of Davis on that right-hand side, and now Mason Mount's picked up an injury, which is not ideal at all. I mean, it is the opportunity for Pulisic to come on and claim his rightful spot in the team, but Mason Mount has been a real key player for us on this recent run of good form that we've been in, really establishing himself as our centre attacking midfielder. The first time in ages we move him back out wide again, and he's just given up and decided to go home after 20 minutes, and Pulisic has got to come back in. Right, Sterling back to Jorginho, and now Reece James on the right again, if he can find the cross, which he cannot do. Muller intercepts, but James clatters him to take the ball back again. It ends up all the way back with Neuer, who has kicked that like he meant it. That's gone an awfully long way. Now it's with Mane, the danger man on this left-hand side for Bayern Munich. Didn't look like a danger man there, just lumped it forward, and it's back with our back four now. This is a weirdly long highlight. I feel like the game might have a plan here, but I don't know who the goal is going to end up being for. Gnabry or Gnabry. No, I've never known. I've signed him a million times. I still don't know. He plays it across goal. It's a save with the foot for Mendy, puts it behind for the corner, and then Mendy comes out and claims the Kimmich corner very comfortably. What a strange highlight it was, because it didn't really lead to a good chance. I guess the Gnabry one was about as good as you could hope to get from that particular move, but I'm happy with how this first half has gone. Mason Mount injury aside, which hopefully isn't going to be a bad one, but we have got the Man United game in the second leg against Bayern, both in the next 7 days. So even if it's not particularly bad, it's going to take a key player out for the most important matches of the season. But to be 0-0 at half-time, to be 1-0 up at half-time is fantastic. Kai Havertz gets on the end of the low cross from Chilwell to put us 1-0 up as the added time clock is ticking, the perfect time to score. Pulisic and Chilwell playing the little 1-2. Chilwell gets beyond the defender and slides it across, and Havertz has just nipped between the two centre-backs there, completely unmarked for an easy tap-in. I mean, that's De Ligt and Upamecano have just been made to look like rascals because we've got one striker, neither of them picked him up. It was so easy. 1-0. We will absolutely take this. I'll tell you what, we'd take 2-0. Reece James on the edge of the area. He can stick that into the top corner, and he can. It's his first goal of the season, and what a way to deliver a first goal of the season. All of a sudden, 5 minutes, and the game is turned on its head. Bayern Munich 0, Chelsea 2. We're going to win everything this season. Are we that good? Oh, I'm having a nice time all of a sudden. 2-0 to Chelsea. And now just don't mess up, lads. It's as simple as that. Don't mess up from here. Bayern knocking the ball around at the back. I'd like to see them mess up. Let us have a third and we kill this off before it even comes back to our place. We can stick the reserves out for the second leg. Really go for it against Manchester United. Chilwell with the header forward to Pulisic, who gives the ball away very easily, but Kante's there to back him up and win the ball back just as easily. And Kovacic bursting out of central midfield, but his shot is a little bit too exuberant, a little bit high, a little bit wide, and doesn't test the goalkeeper. Still 2-0. Just over half an hour to go in this game, and it's Ben Chilwell who has caused problems for Bayern Munich today. Havertz now quite a long way from goal, turns, runs. Pulisic has drawn the foul from Kimmich there, and I think this is a second yellow card. Things are going from bad to worse for Bayern Munich. They've lost arguably their best player and have had to have a shuffle around. Upamecano's gone into central midfield, and they've just locked this down and don't want to concede any more goals. They're trying to live to fight another day, which means we want to go on and grab a goal, at least one more goal of our own. Let's punish them while they're struggling. We need to keep these guys as fresh as possible. So we're just freshening up defenders, midfielders. Have we got one more substitution we can make? I think we do. So, I mean, why not bring on Ryan Gravenberch? Oh, we can't. I was going to bring him on against his parent club, but unfortunately that would have been one substitution too many. I mean, it would be nice. I think that would be enough to justify spending the money on him if in the second leg he gets to come on against his parent club, the club who never gave him a chance in the first half of the season, or the club who are not really giving him a chance now, and he scores. Now, that's not ideal. So much for them locking the game down and not trying anything ambitious anymore. That is very similar to the goal we scored. It's just poor defending from us. They've got into a decent position on this left-hand side, just drilled it across. Mendy pushes it up into the path of Evan Nielsen, and it's now 2-1. Bayern are right back in it. Our substitutions now go through, so perhaps we should have done them ever so slightly earlier, because it was tiring fullbacks getting skinned that were the problem there. And now we've lost another player. Conor Gallagher now injured, so we're both down to 10 men. Well, this has been very eventful so far. So we'll drop him back to that. He can do that. And we lose yet another player to injury. That's Mason Mount and Conor Gallagher, both injured today. Gravenberch playing in the second leg is looking more and more likely because we are running out of central midfield players. Cucurella to Havertz. Pulisic in a decent position with the shot that whistles over the top of the crossbar. Would have been very nice in the dying moments of this match to reassert our 2-goal lead. But at the end of the day, we wanted to come here and avoid embarrassment. We've come here, we've won the match, albeit not as convincingly as perhaps we should have done when we were 2-0 up against 10 men with 20 minutes to go. But we'll take this. We will absolutely take it. I do hope we're not going to be giving away another goal. There's still over a minute left in this game, but Pulisic is once again on the attack, showing that maybe he was wronged to not be starting this game. He lays it up on a plate for Kovacic, and we have re-established the 2-goal lead in the 95th minute. Bayern Munich are going to be fuming, but it is Bayern 1, Chelsea 3, and Pulisic has been fantastic since he's come off this bench from Mason Mount. Lovely work there, picks Kovacic out, and it's easy peasy for him to tuck it past Neuer for our 3rd goal. Lovely stuff. Sets things up very nicely for the second leg. I hope the injuries to Mount and Gallagher aren't too serious. Mason Mount is effectively missing the rest of the season with a groin strain. Conor Gallagher is effectively missing the rest of the season with strained ankle ligaments. That does make things a smidgen harder. Let's go play Manchester United. Well, it goes from bad to worse because Jorginho has now sprained his ankle ligaments and also is going to miss the rest of the season. That's 3 central midfielders all missing. Hudson-Odoi already out for the season. 4 midfield players all missing. And Gravenberch still can't get a game. I mean, there's no point spending money on him, is there? This is the team for Manchester United. We've gone back to the 4-2-3-1 because we want to win the game. We're at home. Let's go through it with our more attacking version of the system. Plus, I mean, in the circumstances, it allows us to play Kai Havertz as the attacking midfielder and at least have the one centre mid in Gravenberch on the bench. I guess we've still got Dennis Zakaria as well, but I've kind of forgotten that he exists. If we'd have gone with the 3, I guess we would have had to have put Kovacic deep and then started Gravenberch instead of Broja, which seems a bit of a risk in a title decider. So it's Mendy in goal, a back four of Chilwell, Pavard, Fofana and James, Kovacic and Kante in midfield, Pulisic, Havertz and Sterling behind Broja up front. I mean, it does give Broja this opportunity that he didn't get when we had the striker injury crisis. Because remember, with what's happening now with our central midfielders has already happened this season with our strikers. It seems that injuries just want to come in clumps for us this season, positional clumps. So Broja never got the opportunity to play up front consistently when Havertz was injured because he was also injured and Gonçalves was injured and Hudson-Odoi got injured and it was just all the attackers went at the same time. But there is Broja. I think he's offside. It just didn't seem to be an immediate reaction from the players when it went in. So I feel like that was probably offside. I don't really know if there's a tell yet for this on FM23. Apparently, I really don't know because it has been given. It's played forward onto this left-hand side. Pulisic involved again. Dinks a lovely little floated cross in for Broja, who gets there ahead of the defender. I think that's Martinez he's got there ahead of. I don't know who. Is Martinez the number 6 for Manchester United? I think that's Martinez. That's Maguire, is it? Either way, Broja gets in ahead of both of them. And it's 1-0 to Chelsea. We need to get this done early so that we can then rest players and avoid picking up any more injuries for the Champions League because we really want to win both. Winning both would be super duper. But if we continue picking up injuries the way we have been, might be a little bit of a challenge. But I tell you what, Armando Broja has decided he's heard I'm still talking about signing Tammy Abraham in the summer. And Romelu Lukaku is returning to the club and he is determined to demonstrate that we don't need either of them because we've already got the striker that I've wanted all along. He's been sat on the bench. He's now got an opportunity against the second best team in the Premier League and he's got 2 goals inside the first 15 minutes. 2 relatively easy goals, but you know what? They're 2 centre-forward goals that Kai Havertz wasn't scoring those kind of goals. And now we've got Havertz playing in that deeper position, running out of midfield, doing exactly what I want him to be doing, playing it through to Broja, who's on a hat-trick here. I mean, a 15-minute hat-trick against Manchester United in a title decider, I think that justifies... Oh, Sterling should have squared it to him there because that would have been the hat-trick. I think that justifies no more shopping for Tammy Abraham. It's Chilwell now to hit the in-swinging corner. He's aiming at this near post, but Maguire heads clear. Sterling does well to bring it down, though. And Sterling has just been really greedy twice there in quick succession when he could have squared it to players in the middle. James now with the corner from the opposite flank. And Fofana is there. But De Gea is equal to it and shows off by catching it. You don't get a lot of catching from goalkeepers these days, especially in situations like that. But that was pretty comfortable from De Gea. Need to keep an eye on Fofana, already on a yellow card, and does have the habit of being a little bit erratic. Like, I mean, he's faffing around on the ball again, but he tends to faff around, give the ball away, then commit a foul to try and get it back. And if he does anything like that, now he's already on a yellow card, we could have a problem. We've got Koulibaly on the bench and Tralaba is on the bench as well. So we've got options to come on for Fofana if need be. Just going to keep an eye on him. He's all right so far. Just that early yellow card is worry. The corners are coming thick and fast today. And finally, we convert one. It's Pavard who hammers the header into the underside of the crossbar. This time, we don't need goal line technology. It's comfortably over the line. And we had so many corners in quick succession there. We were always going to get something. And Pavard, what a time to get his first ever goal in a Chelsea shirt. This pretty much wraps up the title. This is the problem with Brozier. Every time he gets an opportunity and I decide he's the one, he gets injured. I guess Aubameyang. We're going to have to play Aubameyang against Bayern Munich, aren't we? Further demonstration of how thin this squad is. He says 10 points clear of the top of the Premier League. It's not that much. I guess it's not that much of a problem, but it could cost us the Champions League because we are losing players in quick succession at the moment. And I suspect we might not have a deep enough squad to go all the way in the Champions League, which is something we definitely need to address this summer. Eriksen trying to get Manchester United back into the game. Fofana there again with the headed clearance. Sancho can't get his cross past Sterling, and Sterling faffing about a little bit here, but in the end, that's sensational from Sterling. It's just made Sancho look like a goose. Love it from Raheem Sterling. And now Reece James on the right-hand side. Can we grab a fourth before half-time? James looking to get into a crossing position. It's taken the deflection, but the deflection completely wrong for De Gea. And Aubameyang is able to slip in front of him and grab goal number 4. This is so fortuitous, the way this goal has occurred, because it would have been such an easy collect for De Gea if it hadn't taken that huge deflection off of the defender. FM23 chaos, boys and girls. De Gea doesn't even go for it because it's just looped over his head. And Aubameyang, I've doubted him for so long, but there he is, turning up with a goal when it matters. 4-0 to Chelsea by half-time. It's not even close. We're absolutely running away with this Premier League. Oh, lovely stuff. Well then, what have Manchester United got to throw at us in this second half? Nothing. That's what they've got to throw at us. Look at the state of that front four. Bless their cotton socks. It's like they're not even trying. They've not got Ronaldo anymore. Right, let's freshen legs up. Fofana can come off. He survives without getting the red card. We'll take off Kante. Gravenberch can come on for him. And then Sterling can make way for Gonçalves to return to the team after his injury layoff. He was injured as part of the centre-forward injury crisis. We got to the point where we were playing him up front, ahead of Aubameyang, to be fair, and he also picked up an injury that's kept him out for quite a long time. But he is now finally back in the team. Good to see Anthony having a terrible match and getting sacrificed for Raphael Varane as Manchester United go into damage limitation mode, which is a beautiful thing to see happen in something that was billed by me, admittedly, as a title decider. Pulisic wins the ball back off Casemiro, and now United just aimlessly lumping the ball forward. Koulibaly deals with it easily. Gravenberch through to Pulisic. Kai Havertz for number 5. Well, there's the cherry on top the cake, boys and girls. A 19th goal of the season for Kai Havertz, who has been excellent as the attacking midfielder. I know I've speculated about possibly selling him and going with Mount as the attacking midfielder and using the money to go and get that striker that we're looking for. But Havertz in midfield really is useful. And we need strength in depth. What we need is a rich owner who's going to give us a bunch of money to just go and buy a striker anyway. But we'll take that. 5-0. That'll do. That should be the league wrapped up. Now let's just hope the injury. Oh, that's another one out for the season. Let's just hope we can get 11 fit players together to face Bayern Munich, because this is becoming a problem. So final part of the triple header, the second leg against Bayern Munich, and we're having to shuffle things around a little bit again. Chalobah comes back in at the back. Cucurella coming in at left back as well to freshen things up a little bit there. We can keep Kovacic and Kante together in midfield. Gonçalves is coming back in as the attacking midfielder, not fully fit, but needs must. And Havertz is being pushed back up front, meaning we have 4 or 5 of a decent bench. Pavard, Gravenberch, Aubameyang, Chilwell, Azpilicueta, who can all come on if needed. Gonçalves very unlikely to make it through an entire match. So depending on how things are going, it'll either be Aubameyang or Gravenberch who come on for him. Fingers crossed we're comfortably ahead and we can just bring on Gravenberch. That's the plan. But if we're in a big boy grown-up situation, Aubameyang is there, ready and willing to come on and get involved and hopefully score a goal and put himself in the shop window so we can move him on in the summer as part of Operation Get Rid of All of the Old Men at Chelsea, which probably needs a snappier name, but is definitely the goal for this upcoming summer transfer window. Sterling turning and running towards goal, gives it to Havertz. It bobbles clear to Pedro Gonçalves, who, if he'd been fully fit and fully sharp, do we go 1-0 up there? I don't know. It looked like a really good chance to me very early on. Gonçalves and Havertz kind of getting on top of each other as well, which is not ideal. But they are both similar players who want to play in similar places. So it is going to be a problem. That was lovely from Kante in midfield. And this is lovely, flowing, attacking football. But Havertz can't get the ball past Neuer. We are looking dangerous early on, though. We've got a corner. And we've already seen today how dangerous we can be from these set pieces as well. James looking for the in-swinger. But it's straight into the arms of Neuer on this occasion. Very comfortable for him. And really would have hoped for a little bit better there. But it's been a very bright start for us. We've started like we're planning on going out and grabbing a few goals, which is definitely easier said than done when you look at the back four and the goalkeeper that Bayern Munich have got in place. It is quite intimidating, but we've done pretty well so far to create some chances for ourselves, albeit not actually able to make it past the goalkeeper. It sounds like there's 1,000 trucks driving past my house to celebrate as well. We've not even scored yet, lads. Give it a minute. Goodness me. Right, just on the stroke of half-time. This is, of course, when we scored in the first leg and we win the ball back. Havertz and Gonçalves and Sterling causing all kinds of problems again. Pulisic's been quiet so far out of the front four, but I'll let him off. He's had a very good season. Kovacic winning the ball back in midfield and Havertz is there. And once again, Neuer is equal to it. I tell you what, Neuer's up for it today, isn't he? He could, if Bayern can figure out a way to get some attacks going, the form Neuer's in today could become problematic for us as this game goes on. Kovacic whipping it back in and Chalobah hits the post. Oh, my word. I've got to believe one goal wins it here because we'd go 4-1 up on aggregate. But we are throwing everything at Bayern Munich at the moment, and they're weathering the storm. If they now come out at the start of this second half and use their front four, their pretty impressive looking front four, to grab a goal, we've got a problem. Christian Pulisic has a cut hand, but should be able to play through it. Yeah, too right, you should be able to play through a cut hand. Any other response to cutting your hand and you being fired on the pitch? Goodness me. Right. Bayern are running out of time here. They're going to have to commit men forward at some point. And so far, they're not really. They're just happy knocking the ball around at the back. They've moved Upamecano up into midfield again, which is, I mean, is that a thing Bayern Munich do? Maybe it is. What do I know? Mane winning the ball back, but immediately giving it away to, well, not giving it away, but just palming it off to Goretzka, who is less of a threat than Mane is, to be sure. Gnabry, oh my word. He hits the crossbar. That was a potential moment for Bayern with 25 minutes still to go. A little bit of letting off the hook for us, and Gonçalves wins the ball back. We do need to keep an eye on his fitness because I still don't think he's going to make it through an entire game. But we will continue to monitor that. Sterling to Kovacic. Now, Reece James on the overlap. We've got men in the middle, but he can't beat Davies with the cross. But it's back with James, who this time does whip it into the area. And Havertz finds a way to get past Neuer. It looked like Neuer had that covered. That's why my reaction was so delayed. It looked like it was straight at the goalkeeper, but it's almost passed through him here. Let's just have a look at this. I'm trying to work out how we've beaten Neuer. Not that I care how, because the important thing is we did. Oh, he should be doing... He's had such a good game, and he's going to be so disappointed. He's gone for it with both hands, and neither of them have made contact with the ball. That looked like bread and butter for Neuer, and he's ballsed it up. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right. We're going to bring Aubameyang on the left-hand side. Sterling is tiring as well. We have nobody who can come on and play in that position. We're just running out of players. Who have we got on the bench? Yeesh. Okay. We're going to have to shuffle some stuff around here, aren't we? I mean, we do have a diamond. So I guess if we've got no wide players, we can switch to the diamond, which is going to mean bringing on Gravenberch, dropping him back there. But Gonçalves probably needs to come off as well. So we've got Zakaria, who, oh my word, okay. Let's do this. And that can probably do for now. Actually, we're going to bring Pavard on as well. And then we've got Chilwell and Azpilicueta still sat there on the bench to come on if needed. I don't feel fully comfortable having to switch the tactic around with 20 minutes to go when we've played so well. But with both of our wingers being absolutely ruined and no backup players because they're all injured, needs must. Gravenberch giving the ball away in midfield. £33 million. Let me know in the comments section. We all know he's got potential, but he just hasn't looked the same man since arriving at Chelsea. And Kai Havertz, wonderful stuff again from him. He has been excellent in this match. He's just been excellent this season. I've criticised him a lot for not being an out-and-out striker, but for not being an out-and-out striker, he's done all right here, hasn't he? Got in behind the defence, and then it's a lovely little composed finish, just tucking it under Neuer. And that's us in the semi-finals. Bayern Munich aren't coming back from this. We're 5-1 up on aggregate with 20 minutes to go. They're still not pushing the game forward at all. Potential question marks over this supposedly improved manager AI, because this is a moment when Bayern Munich should be trying to win this game, surely, or at least get back into the game. They should be throwing men forward. They should be attacking, but they're just carrying on as they have done throughout the entire two legs. Don't seem to have any urgency about them. Don't seem to be attacking with any more purpose than they were before. Just kind of doing what they do, which is weird. But I'll go with it. I'm happy with that. Davis on the left-hand side, of course, he's going to have space to roam in. Now we don't have any wide players out there. Now we've gone so narrow, but Cucurella deals with the problem on the other flank, and now Chalobah back to Mendy, and let's just have the final whistle now, please, chaps. Havertz looking for the flick on, but can't get there. Kante pokes it over the top, though, to Aubameyang, who has tried to lob a keeper who is on his line, which is, I mean, it's an interesting one. It didn't exactly come off, though. Kante is now tired. We do have the option to push Chalobah up into midfield. So I think we will do that if we do this. And then we've got Koulibaly who can come on at the back there for the final few minutes. Just, we can't risk another injury to a central midfielder. So with Kante tiring, we need to get him out of there and make sure he stays fit for the semi-final, which we're now in, and that will be tomorrow's episode. Do we have confirmation of who we're playing? Let's just give Kai Havertz a pat on the head, and it is Atletico Madrid. They got past Liverpool now. Atletico is 6th in La Liga. So quite how they've got past Liverpool, I don't know. Antoine Griezmann is the answer. So we probably need to keep an eye on him. But it is Atletico Madrid, both legs, in tomorrow's video. We should have wrapped up the Premier League by then as well. But let's face it, we're 10 points clear of a game in hand. Probably not going to show you that happening, because kind of know it's just going to happen now, don't we? So we're going to focus in on the Champions League for the rest of the season and just try and win it all. Why not? If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.